Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right. I am John Palacio.
And I'm Marlene Cuellar. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yo, what a cool Wednesday morning. Looking forward to hearing from our forecaster on duty. Catherine Cumberbatch should be on the line anytime soon. But we're so thankful that the weather is looking lovely across the country.
That's right. And we were told that we were going to have good weather. It is warm, but not uncomfortably so. And thankfully, there's no rain. But we don't have our forecaster on the line. So we're going to go ahead and read the prepared forecast.
All right, so there we go. In the general situation, it's saying here, mainly fair conditions will continue to dominate our weather.
All right, our 24-hour forecast is for sunny skies and partly cloudy tonight. Showers will be isolated.
The winds from the east to southeast at 5 to 15 knots, producing slight seas.
All right, and our high temperatures for today. We're going to be getting 86 along the coast, 90 inland, and 78 in the hills.
And the lows for tonight along 77 degrees Fahrenheit coastal, 68 inland, and a chilly 64 up in the hills. Ooh.
All right, and the extended forecast is for Thursday and Thursday night. It'll be mostly cloudy skies along with a few showers, periods of rain, and isolated thunderstorms.
You know when the weather is going to be good when there is not too much on the forecast. So you know that, hey, okay, it's going to be an okay day. Everything is going to be nice. But we want to thank the forecaster on duty, Catherine Cumberbatch at the National Met Service. All the forecasters, technicians, guys, thank you so very much.
All right. So keeping things moving for this morning, let's get into our eye-opener. And our eye-opener, taken from dailyom.com, goes like this. True compassion recognizes that all the boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others are an illusion. Compassion is the ability to see the deep connectedness between ourselves and others. Moreover, true compassion recognizes that all the boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others are an illusion. When we first begin to practice compassion, this very deep level of understanding may elude us, but we can have faith that if we start where we are, we will eventually feel our way toward it. We move closer to it every time we see past our own self-concern to accommodate concern for others. And as with any skill, our compassion grows most in the presence of difficulty. We practice small acts of compassion every day. When our loved ones are short-tempered or another driver cuts us off in the traffic, we extend our forgiveness by trying to understand their point of view. We know how it is to feel stressed out or irritable. The practice of compassion becomes more difficult when we find ourselves unable to understand the actions of the person who offends us. This can seem like a very tall order, but when life presents us with circumstances that require our compassion, no matter how difficult, we can trust that we are ready.
And I just, one of those eye-openers again, Mar. You know, every day we read this, and I tell you I love it, simply because whenever it's being read, I actually could see a scenario. I really and truly reckon, especially the headline of it or the topic of it, which true compassion recognizes that all boundaries we perceive between ourselves and others are an illusion. You know, an illusion simply means there are things there we feel that we're seeing, but it's really not there. We are compassionate people. And the bottom part of this says, this can seem like a very tall order, but when life presents us with circumstances that require our compassion, no matter how difficult, Mar, we can trust that we are ready. It's being embedded in us. Some people choose to ignore it, and that's just their way of life. And I think that if they could find it within themselves to actually bring it out to say, you know what, I really feel the compassion, I'm compassionate about what people are going through, it's going to be there. You know, so I really and truly like the eye-opener, and there's a particular part that I want to, the practice of compassion becomes more difficult when we find ourselves unable to understand the actions of the persons who offend us, or the person who offend us. You said it right, that many times we're driving there's somebody who is trying to rush. What is the person going through? Well, I mean, except Taximan, no? But what is the person, I'm just saying, we're just kidding. But what is that person going through? But the automatic, compassionate part of us would come on out and see, you know what? There are times I could be in that situation. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to give that person a right of way, because there are times when I need that right of way, and I say thank you. This is a great eye-opener.
Yeah. And I think for me, just focusing on the part that it is a skill that you have to work on, that it doesn't come as easily in all the times you need it. And sometimes it means you actually have to take that step back and try to, you know how hard it is for some people to see things from someone else's point of view. And it is something that you can do. It's just a matter of literally trying to like turn off your own biases, your own judgment, your own experience, your own, education in some cases, and try to understand where other people are coming from. And there's so much that can change in our reactions and actions towards others if we just allow ourselves to do that.
Definitely.
So I say it's a great challenge as we go through what is collectively a difficult time. We hear all the time, we are all in this together. But let's be honest, everyone has a different story and a different challenge that they're dealing with. And some are feeling a far bigger hit from everything that's taking place than everyone else. And so we must, more so than ever, have that level of compassion towards others. And this is a great eye-opener to set the tone for a conversation that we're going to be having today to start off.
That's right. So speaking of that, we'll be kicking things off this morning. Our conversation, the first one, is going to be the effect or the effects of the novel coronavirus on one's mental health. Exactly what we were talking about there.
That's right. That's right. There's a whole lot of compassion we do have to have about those who have been exposed and those who have been affected by COVID or even lost loved ones during this time. And so that will be your COVID update for this morning. Then we're going to move on to a learning activity that someone has created. It's called Climb the Wall Art. And so it helps kids to learn how to spell. For all you at-home new teachers that are out there, AKA parents, this will be really helpful for your little ones. So we're going to tell you all about it in the second part of our show.
And I'll tell you what, we continue to engage the entire family. As a third segment for today, it's going to be locally made Christmas gift ideas, which of course we could get everybody a part of the family to do these things. Handmade jewelry, Zest Handicrafts. The owner is going to be in with us to teach us what to do, how to do.
All right, and we have a burrata for you today, of course. And that's because even as busy as it gets, we still have to fit in some time to laugh. And that's what we're going to be talking about in the last part of our show. There is a comic relief virtual competition, and it actually starts tonight. So we're going to find out all about it, when you can catch it, how you can catch it, and why you don't want to miss it. So that's what we're closing off with this morning.
I'll tell you what, yes. So we're about to take the break, but just before we do that, we've got our birthday shout out.
That's right.
And we would like to say a happy, happy, happy birthday to none other than Hippolito Novello. That's my bro.
All right. Of course, Hippolito is one of our news reporters. You guys see his face usually at night in our newscast. And Hippolito, we do hope you have a great day. That comes from, of course, all of us here at Channel 5.
Right here at Channel 5, all of us right here on Open Your Eyes. And I've got to say, while we're on screen, it's away to the mandate for telling good. So I'm going to tell you this. Resiliency and cool as December weather. That's Hippolito. So Hippolito, once again, happy birthday to you. So we'll take the break. When we come back, we'll jump right into the conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Smart got you this December with the We Kinda Christmas promotion. Starting December 4th, you can avoid the rush and be safe while visiting our showrooms to get these one-of-a-kind deals.
Devices start as low as $70 with the Evo Star Mobile. Other devices like the Nokia 2V for just $165, Motorola E6 for only $235, and Samsung A51 for $675. Check this out. The first 10 persons to purchase any of our iPhone 7s get 50% off that device. Each device comes with 50 SMS, $10 promo credit, plus 2 gigabytes of data, all for free.
Looking for tablets? Then take advantage of the Amazon Kindle 8-inch for $155. Or get a Samsung Tab A10.
All phones come with a starter pack, free SMS, credit and data, plus an extra Christmas treat of 2 gigabytes data, a package valued at over $27 for free.
Now that's We Kinda prices. And you can only get them at Smart.
Why, Tony?
Why, Keith, what are you going on, man?
But actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups from my grocery shop because they run low.
Boy, I stopped importing things since April 15th, you know. And I just routed the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Last year Christmas, we gathered in groups with family and friends, went shopping and spent time together in crowded spaces. If we do this during the COVID-19 pandemic, however, we'll help the virus to spread. Most of us have a family member who's elderly, or young but obese, or who has high blood pressure or diabetes. And while we want to hang out with them this Christmas, to stay safe during this holiday season, celebrate with only the members of your household, meaning the people who live in your home. Even though we have family and friends who would not want to harm us, inviting persons from other homes increases the risk of being exposed to COVID-19. Of course, we still have to wash hands frequently and wear a mask that covers nose and mouth consistently. And remember, if anybody is sick, if anyone has a cold, stuffy nose, cough, fever, or just feels tired, that person should stay home. A message from the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, European Union, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Today's COVID update is brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
And welcome back to Open Your Eyes with our COVID update, all courtesy Fulltech Systems. We're now moving into our first segment. And this segment actually surrounds the effect of the novel coronavirus on one's mental health. And we know for a fact that it's very tough, but we've got folks in to tell us all about it. Amy Jex, who is a counselor, she's in with us. Jeremy Vargas, Counseling and Psychology Services. And Sahar Vasquez, Mind Health Connect Belize. Guys, good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Okay.
We didn't hear Jeremy.
Good morning.
Okay,
there
yes, we hear
go.
you now.
Yeah.
It's very low, so we'll want to work on that.
Yeah.
But let's dive into the topic right now. And I'm going to start with Amy, of course, because I want to hear just what you have been seeing. There are a lot of people right now who are struggling with coping in our current environment, whether they had mental health issues before, they're definitely feeling it at this time. So tell me what you are seeing in your private practice.
You know, it is very interesting that I'm seeing everybody from the people who have anxiety related to just the general COVID panic. I've been working with people who've had other diseases and they are concerned as vulnerable people. And I've also been seeing people who are positive and who have been in recovery from COVID. So I have been seeing all these people. Luckily, they are reaching out. The other population I really want to work with, and I have been working on a smaller scale, having, working in a hospital, but essential workers and healthcare workers, police officers, these are the important people. And as we see, we have all these people, it's affecting everybody in our community.
Yeah.
We have this general anxiety, and I remember, I'm old enough, but I was able to see 9/11, and I witnessed that a bit as I was studying in the US, and you see a lot of the similar symptoms of PTSD that come across. You have this awareness, a little bit of agoraphobia, fear of going outside, just fear of interacting with people, not being sure who to interact with. And these are some of the things that we are seeing in the community as we work in mental health. A lot of anxiety in the process of, am I coughing? Do I have respiratory symptoms? If I go into a store, will they let me in? Because they always ask, have you been experiencing any of this? I need these things. And so you really have a lot of awareness. And then we have our people who have a lot of anxiety. You know what? My neighbors are doing this. My partner isn't as on board on being wary as I am. I'm afraid that my children will interact with other people because I don't know where they have been. And there's just this range of anxiety from just mild concern to severe, people need to be hospitalized. We have been working with providing medication for people. So it's really, really a big range that we're seeing out there. And luckily, a lot of people are reaching out for help. A lot of people are talking. And these opportunities, like I always participate, because it's very important for Belizean people in the community to not just be educated about washing hands, physical distancing, but also to have that concern to take responsibility for what can I do for myself, how can I be in control, and inspire other people to do the same for themselves.
Amy, but one of the things that's happening right now, and it is happening to a lot of people, and I to be honest with you, and I feel that's the way, of course, we are on this show. Myself, it has been taking a toll mentally, and I feel at times, especially because of being on the show and we talk about this a lot, I know what to recognize. But the novel coronavirus that just sprung on us just like that prompt an immediate change. And there are a lot of people right now who are not cognizant that this is what they're going through. And I'd like for you to, if possible, tell us, how do you recognize that you're suffering mentally, especially amid this pandemic?
As you mentioned, it's something that we're doing that is a little bit normal. We're normalizing the stress at this point. But our body is not built for a stress that lasts 9, 10, a whole 10 months, a whole year, going over a year. Our bodies are not used to that.
Yeah.
And so recognizing it, sometimes it kind of slides down. One day we just break down. And having conversations, seeing how normal you are. I think at this point, I don't have a statistic on it, but majority of the people in our community are, as you hear every day on the media, burnt out on COVID. And that term burnt out is a diagnosis now. Last year, we had this huge conversation about burnout being a psychological diagnosis.
Yeah.
And now we see a lot of this related to COVID. People are tired. Personally, I stopped tuning into a lot of news media. You guys being on the news, unfortunately, you can't do the same that I do, but controlling how much media you get in, controlling what part of your conversation is dedicated to COVID.
Yeah.
But the main thing you notice is, how are you adapting, and do you feel comfortable with the ways you are adapting? A lot of us feel uncomfortable with some of the changes that we have in our day, and we have to try. So if you are uncomfortable with the mask, but you know you must wear it when you go out, minimize how often you go out.
Yeah.
If you feel stuck at home, how can you, in a healthy manner, socialize? Because this is something very important. You have to connect with nature. You have to see the sun. You have to be outside. How terrible was it in the past month when it rained for so long and we were stuck inside?
Yeah.
Not just because of the coronavirus, but also because it was raining and we couldn't go out.
Yeah.
And we feel that extra level of just being stuck. So it's important to recognize how you feel different from how you regularly feel, and get back and just decrease that fear, that anxiety by as much as you can. Sometimes a lot of us, I'm sure in mental health, we do online sessions for those people who feel uncomfortable. I've had clients who specifically say, Ms. Jex, I need to leave my house, so I want to work in the office.
Yeah.
Because I put the option out there, and they say, I can't stay inside my house anymore, and this is a valid reason for me to go out, and they take advantage of that opportunity, and they do several things. So
let me just jump in there, because I also think one of the things I ask so many people that I interact with how they're feeling, and some of the common words, and especially after this weekend, we heard everyone just saying heavy, which is such a vivid description of what it feels like to be living in this era. A lot of people talk about being frustrated or being tired, irritable, which is also something that we hear quite often as well. Now, what happens if you have these feelings? Clearly, it is a part of being able to cope in this particular time. But, I mean, how can people kind of get it under control, or at least recognize it, so that they don't start to build their own toxic environments in their own homes?
Yes, we've actually been experiencing a lot of these words: heavy, frustrated, tired, irritable. We have been seeing these and hearing these terms from way back in April. So can you imagine that level at this point?
Yeah.
And that's why when we have these little holidays, we go to the other extreme to see what makes us feel better, because that's what we do. If you're sad, you try to have fun, you try to engage in activities, you try to do something to take that load off. But we obviously can't do the same things that we used to do to have fun. We can't be hanging out, we can't be drinking. I've heard you, Marlene, speak about the importance of bubbles. And it's very hard to control your bubble, because you don't know if your friend has to be working with other people who have had COVID. I've heard people tell me, you know what, I was having lunch with my coworker. Yes, we were socially distanced. We were at opposite ends of the office. But then I found out today that her husband was diagnosed with COVID, and why was she being so irresponsible? And there comes that frustration of also, I have to cope with what you are coping with, but now I didn't know. You took personal responsibility, but you're taking away that chance for me to be in control of my life. So going back to that heaviness, that frustration, what are you in charge of?
Okay, let me get Jeremy in and Sahar. So let me ask Jeremy this. Jeremy, one of the things I think we're struggling to understand is why people, just based on human behavior, take different risks. I think the interpretation of the level of risks that people are taking seem to be different, and it leads to a lot of the frustration. Now, we always know people who are more naturally inclined to be rule breakers, but what do you think is behind some of the issues that you're seeing? And for others who are taking all the precautions and still seeing people breaking the rules, it is an intense amount of frustration that you feel.
Well, I'd like to build off of what Imajek said about the anxiety. So anxiety in itself at a low grade is functional. It helps you prepare. It helps you plan for what is to come. And the issue happens when it becomes too controlling over your life, when the anxiousness is the deciding factor, right? And right now there are those that you say, you call them rule breakers, but they're really people that justify their actions. And in this time where we have social distancing and the lockdown, the curfew, for example, people will stay up until 9:55, right? Because they're justifying, if I go home right now, I'm going to be home alone. It's going to be back to my own little bubble. It's going to be back to my own environment where I have to maintain my practices, right? Yeah. And what people don't realize is that COVID right now is kind of like a very long, low-grade hurricane. You have to prepare. You have to stay home. You have to make sure that you're protected and you have all your resources. And what do you do in a hurricane? Do you sit down and just wait for it? Or do you find something to do? Do you try to engage with the people in your household? That's what's different, right? That aspect is what's missing. I know some of my neighbors who are still talking, like we'll talk across the street and we'll ask each other, how's your day? Talk about the dogs, talk about things that we're doing in our household or what's going on in our lives. And maintaining that social distancing, but we still have that social connection. And it's the same thing for many Belizeans, right? They justify going to a friend's house and staying over, and it's their social outing, right? They're trying to be safe. They're trying to maintain all the protocols. However, then that anxiety comes in. What if this person isn't protecting themselves? What if they have contact with someone? Now I've just had contact with them, and then that anxiety spirals, right? But it can spiral to a very bad place where it dictates your entire life. You're stayed stuck at home. You're not engaging in anything really, and your bubble is now a toxic bubble. And we talk about how we recognize these symptoms. An easy way to recognize it would be to ask yourself, what am I doing right now? And is it functional? Now, functionality for protection is good, but functionality for your sanity, for your enjoyment, for your peace of mind, that's different. It's the same thing like when you go buy groceries and you see someone spraying down their bag and they have like their concoction of alcohol, mint, and water, and that's what they're using to disinfect, right? Why, if you don't do that, is it bringing you peace of mind? Are you okay with letting that go? And that's your choice, right? Everybody has a different level of letting things go. Then you have those that will stay out past the curfew. They have a very low level of letting it go, right? And that's what they do. They justify those actions.
But Jeremy, you know, I'm listening to you, and then again, listening to Amy. You guys are actually seeing probably a surge of clients. But what we always talk about the clients, but what does this do for you? And how do you cope? And I'm asking this question because you as a professional, you need to be talking to people. What does this do for you?
It forced me to restructure my office, first of all, which is fine. We adapt. That's the human trait, is our ability to adapt. And there is a surge of clients that are coming now, and they may have had low-grade anxiety and low-grade depression, and now, because of COVID, it has essentially thrown a wrench in their everyday plans, everyday routines, and now it's escalated. Clients that come in and they want that social interaction, they are still here, right? That's the only social interaction they get for the week because they start working from home, their families from out of district, and that's the only social interaction they get. I know I have a couple clients who come early because they walk around the park because it's a physical activity. and justify their anxiety for going to seek services, and they add something else to it, right? And then there are also the other round of clients that are very anxious and they stay home and they want to be protected because they have loved ones they're caring for, and that's where teletherapy comes in, right?
Yeah. So let me get Sahar in.
Yeah.
So Sahar, I know Mind Health Connect works to build awareness and also connect people with mental health services. But I know you've always been open about sharing your own story as well. And where there is a collective anxiety at this time for people who are already predisposed, I can't imagine. You know, I wake up every day Googling every symptom that I have, like that I think I have. So I can't imagine for others who already are predisposed to anxiety. So tell us about what it's been like for you.
To say the least, it's been tough. I've taken a few COVID tests, and these COVID tests all came from anxiety. Like I would wake up feeling, oh my God, I can't breathe. My throat feels weird. I'm coughing, I'm sneezing. Like I have to take a COVID test. And I would take the test and it would come back negative. So that's how powerful anxiety is. And I mean, I'm very lucky to have been able to take the test and to, you know, get that peace of mind, but a lot of people aren't able to do that. And definitely in terms of depression, you know, it doesn't matter if I take medication. Yes, I do therapy and things like that, but it's still like just, I feel so very heavy. It's like there's a massive weight on my chest, you know, and I'm just so tired of everything, you know. I want to be able to properly socialize, or to be able to go somewhere without worrying, oh my gosh, did I touch this? Did that person go there? You know, it's really like, you know, Amy and Jeremy said, it's super frustrating. It's like, oh my goodness.
How are you coping?
I'm trying. I'm definitely, like I said, it's I'm very tired. And I've realized, you know, a lot of people have been reaching out to Mind Health Connect in terms of, okay, where can I get help? Which I love that. I want people to be reaching out. But I've also realized it doesn't matter, you know, if you have mental illness, if you don't have mental illness, it's just everyone is just under this state of duress, you know, like when will this be over? Like in my head, I'm like, oh, I thought it was going to be over in like January 2021, like it's done, you know, but that's not the case. It seems like it's going to go on for a while. Who knows when we'll get the vaccine? So, it's tough, you know, and I'm a teacher. So teaching virtually is, it's challenging and it's definitely hard to, you know, I teach kids and kids want to be in school. They want to see their friends and play. So
and a lot of demands on you from parents.
Yes, it has been very demanding and very emotional overall. You know, it's just some days for me, I just break down crying because I don't really know what to do or where to go. You know, it's just, I feel like life has just been put on hold.
Yeah, but Sahar, you know, and one of the things that I've learned again, thanks to Marlene, and of course being here, it's okay to cry. And I also want to extend one congratulations to you with Mind Health and Connect Belize, where people who feel that way could actually have, it's basically a connect for them. And I feel as long as you've got an avenue, then things, you know, could at least be okay for that particular time. But while people feel like you, Sahar, what do you say about, or to folks who actually, and I've asked this to Amy, who don't know what to do and want to have a conversation, what do you think they should do?
Well, I would, of course, they have visit mindhealthconnect.com, where you can find, okay, where are their therapists? Who can I see? You can find out, how do I cope with COVID mentally during this time? You know, we have all that information. So for me, that's what I would say. And also, I mean, I know, yes, we don't all live with people. Some of us live alone, but call one of your family members or a friend and say, you know, I'm feeling like this. they may be able to help you as well, or just to get something off your chest. And to also, you know, most people you talk to, you're going to be able to relate to. They're going to say, you know what? I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah.
I want to go out. I want to, it's my birthday. It's not my birthday tomorrow, but if it was, you know, I want to have a proper celebration. I don't want to have to be like, oh, you know, I can't invite this one or this one, you know. So I think this is a time of, yes, we're losing a lot of people. So of course, grief in that sense, but also grief that we can't travel, we can't celebrate birthdays or be with maybe our grandparents or older folks or even our parents because we have to take those precautions.
Let me shift gears here for a second, because we really do want to have this segment help as many people, or just kind of clarify some of the feelings that people are having everywhere. Yesterday we had a panel of people who had been diagnosed with COVID, went into isolation, and you know, some who are still positive at this time. It was really informative to understand that beyond getting the physical symptoms, there's a lot of mental health challenges that you can face as well. You know, one patient was in isolation for 35 days.
Wow.
One waited 13 days for a positive result. You know, a nurse who was in complete isolation, you know, spoke of going to bed at night and just having a fear of not waking up. You know, they spoke of panic attacks. And I think we have been speaking so much about all the precautions. We have almost 5,000 people who are isolated in a room or a house on their own, thinking perhaps worst case scenario. So let's take an opportunity to talk about that and just some advice that you would be able to offer as well. Let's start with you, Jeremy.
Well, in terms of how to cope with that, it's a difficult thing because there's many different people with different presentations, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their own unique perspective.
Yeah.
So understanding your diagnosis, understanding where to get information from, and knowing who to rely on in those moments. Now, talking to the people that have been diagnosed, you're home, you're at a hotel, you're somewhere confined, right? You're limiting that social aspect. So formulating that social bond over social media, over phone calls, over Zoom, or any kind of social interaction, right? We have technology now that are at our advantage. With that said, there are some who don't have that liberty, right? That technology too force that communication. And to them, you can speak to people through your window, right? You can speak to people through the door. No one has to come into your house. You can always cook food. You can find things in your home to keep your mind active. A lot of people like to say reading is boring. It kind of is sometimes, right? But finding that thing that motivates you that you want to read about, checking in on the people around you. Cleaning the house. I know a lot of clients have said that when they've tested positive, that's the first thing that they do. And they start doing it as a way to cope with the stress. If I can clean my house, then my house is clean and I know my house is safe, right?
Okay.
Doing things to keep you active in that moment. Now, for those who are fearful of being diagnosed with COVID-19, you have a added, let's say, barrier of preparation, right? You can find out who you can talk to. You can find out in the event that you have to stay home, what you can do, right? Start fostering, start gathering things to do at home. So board games, card games, books, different things that don't rely on technology. Then other things that do rely on technology. I know there have been a series of online games that people have started engaging with. And now I know you're thinking like video games are kind of for children, and it's amazing to see the positive effect it has. And it's not necessarily just video games like the typical controller games. It's like Pictionary or Scrabble. And those games have a stimulating aspect to it because it forces you to think and forces you to critically analyze, and it keeps you active. And the goal is not to distract, right? The goal is to be active.
Yeah, I like that. And that's also, I mean, playing games together, even online, is also a form of socialization.
Yep.
Amy, I know, sometimes too, and I think you pointed it out earlier, that we kind of have a natural tendency, if we get exposed or if we, I imagine if you get positive, it's, well, you want to blame people. You want to blame someone for not taking enough precautions or for bringing it to me or my family. And so there is a level of compassion that we really need to have at this time. Do you want to talk about just that burden too? And I know people talk about the guilt of having infected another person or exposing another person. So let's put that one into perspective.
That is a really big aspect of what a lot of us are living with. It's not just the anxiety that we have about ourselves, it's about the anxiety of what do I do with the people around me? Being isolated is really hard. And as Jeremy was saying, you just can't be alone. We are human beings. Human beings are naturally social. We have to interact. So how do we do that safely? And we have to check in. So how do we check in? When we talk about those feelings of guilt, these are things that your mind weighs upon you when your mind is otherwise not occupied. So that's why when he spoke about checking in, being busy, those are the things that keep us going. One of the hardest things I've heard was waiting for your results. That's why so many people are so grateful for these rapid tests right now.
Yeah.
Because when those periods of waiting started being extended, you are constantly in the state of I don't know where I am. You are in the state of limbo. And being in that state of limbo, it just takes all your catastrophic thoughts, all the worst case scenarios, and brings it to the forefront. So when we talk about that guilt, it's very important to start allocating it properly. What could I have done? What could someone else have done? Am I responsible for them? So these are questions that when you're dealing with the guilt, make sure you learn to rein it in. We will have feelings of guilt, just like anxiety, feelings of guilt are normal. These are all things that we experience. These are things that we understand. And for some of us, we feel that other people just don't have that sense of responsibility, or other people don't have that sense of guilt. They would say, I've heard, look at that person parading outside and they don't realize they have a diabetic grandparent at home or something like that. And it's very important to realize that it doesn't just come from strangers. It doesn't just come from other people. But when you have those feelings of guilt, it comes across a lot. In our actions in day-to-day, in our precautions. A lot of us wear the mask out of guilt. A lot of us wash our hands because other people are seeing that we touch something. And even those little things we see as feelings of guilt because we are doing it not out of our sense of what we ought to do, but we do it as other people will judge me if I don't. And that's why it's important that when you take personal responsibility, you take on your responsibility and it's not just someone else's fault. So if you have a 70-year-old that you live with, how much responsibility does that person have? Maybe that person goes to the doctor a lot. So it's incumbent to share responsibility with that person. How can I keep that person safe? If I live with a 7-year-old equally, it is my responsibility as a parent or a guardian to make sure that my child is interacting as is relevant for that child's age. So a 7-year-old needs to interact. And we see the effect on a lot of children as well, where you need to check in with them on a regular basis. You need to see what's happening. We have a lot of physical symptoms in children. They feel the distress, but because they're not talking or they're not used to talking, we see a lot of tummy aches, headaches. Oh, I don't feel good. Some withdrawal. So we want to check in with these people as well and see what they are experiencing. Remember, elderly people and younger people, we need to have them talk as well. We need to understand what they are experiencing, because very often they're just going with the flow and feeding off your energy. So when we talk about that empathy, that personal responsibility, it's important to see from other people's perspectives. And I think one of the main things we are missing out, not just doing the larger media campaign, but when you see someone, rather than wanting to be angry at them and screaming at them, check in with them and see if they know better. Because we look at someone wearing the mask on their chin and we're like, oh, look at that irresponsible person. They just don't care. That person might be someone who just doesn't know better. And as much as the media campaign is out there, I believe it was Jeremy who mentioned, not everyone has access to the same media. And we have to be very, very aware of that some of us have more access to numbers. Some of us have more access to information. Some of us can process it differently from other people.
And some people are tuning out.
Saying as well, what's important is that we understand what their circumstances are, because I hear a lot of people, but I have to go work. And so they do go work and they do their best. But as I was told the other day, even spending a half hour or was it 15 minutes in a closed area with someone is considered close contact.
Yep.
So if I am in a room with you and I'm experiencing close contact and I'm wearing a mask, but I see that as you talk, because you don't come out as often, you don't have as much experience as I have in wearing the mask and making sure your nose and mouth are covered, then it is my responsibility to teach you and say, I realize you're touching your face. You can't touch your face. And talk about it in a way where it's not aggressive. You're not reprimanding. You're not scolding. You're not blaming. But you're bringing that person into the conversation.
Yeah.
Great point.
Now, when we talk about Christmas, it's one of the times that we have such an important connection to this celebration, and especially with family. We don't know what's going to be allowed at that time, but already as it is, we're being asked to only celebrate with the people in your household and not to be moving around as we normally do. This feeling of being robbed of something that is so important to us at this time of year is going to be difficult. What's your advice to people? And I gotta say, we felt this way for Carnival, we felt this way for September, we survived.
Easter.
We survived. Just let me get that in there. But my point is, I know there are people right now probably just planning how they'll sneak in a Christmas party, or their visits everywhere, or not considering adapting to safer ways of celebrating. What's your advice as we head into this in just how we can mentally adjust ourselves to what is the reality for now? Anybody?
Jeremy. Sahar.
Jeremy, I'll let you go ahead as the mental health professional.
As it relates to Christmas and traditions, a lot of times we look at Christmas and think, Christmas no one be the same this year because X, Y, and Z. Good. That's fine to think that way, but also add to that conversation, add to that thought process of Christmas won't be the same, but what will remain the same, right? And you mentioned Carnival and Easter and all these other celebrations that we have as a community, as a unit, and some other people that use the word clan, right? We want to ensure that we're all here for the next year. We want to ensure that we're all safe and that we all don't have to go through the worries of waiting for the results of a test, waiting to see if I have COVID or not, if I have the guilt from spreading it to someone else. So having a celebration that fits the protocols is what my suggestion would be, right? Now, even with that, there are still those that you need to care for in this time of year. So you have your elder, like your grandma and grandpa, where might be living in a different district and you have to go visit them because maybe they're experiencing onset dementia and you need to be there for them. Or maybe they don't have financial support, so that's what your role is whenever you go visit. Being mindful of what you're doing and being aware of your actions.
Yeah.
The hand touching the face, the not wearing the mask. If you're sitting and you can't go and sit down on the couch with grandma and snuggle up like you used to for Christmas, and that hurts, right? It hurts because it's what Christmas is about for some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
It isn't about the fancy gifts. We could live without the fancy gifts. We could live without the go up on Queen Street and watch all the pretty lights there, or the steel pan bun out there. We could live without anything, but it's the family bond, right? So now we don't know what the protocols are going to be. Plan as if everything is to be the same. Plan as if the curfew is going to continue throughout the Christmas season. Plan as if certain family members won't be able to come to the house. That's what you should do right now. Okay?
Yeah.
Assume the protocols will remain the same and make preparations as such. I know certain families will be making ham here, and then the other one will make the turkey, and then the other one will do the rice and beans on the fire heart because they have a fire heart in Orange Walk. You know?
Yeah.
Those traditions can be the same. And then visiting them during the appropriate times and dropping off the food, dropping off the, you know, I miss you this Christmas, but I want you to stay safe and I love you. That's why I'm doing this, because I love you.
Yeah.
So please stay safe. I'm going back home because so-and-so to bring the turkey right now.
Yeah.
You know?
It's all about the understanding. And Sahar, your take?
I totally agree with Jeremy. I mean, it's a tough thing to kind of see. I'm touching my face right now. It's tough to take it all in, especially, I mean, yes, we survived Easter, September, all of that, but Christmas is just such an intimate time. You know, you want to be with all of your family members. Yeah. And this time around, unfortunately, we can't do that because we want to keep everyone safe. And I keep seeing this quote going around, which I can't properly remember, but something to the effect of, you know, right now we're doing this so that in the future we can be with everyone, you know? And that time will come. I keep telling myself, for me, that COVID won't last forever. There's already a vaccine out. And yes, we don't know when Belize will get that vaccine, but that is hope in itself, that there is a vaccine. And, you know, while Amy was talking about, or I don't know it was Marlene, sorry, about someone being in quarantine or for 35 days, like I got anxiety immediately. So it's an anxiety-inducing time, and it might be an anxiety-inducing Christmas Day, Christmas Eve. You know, Christmas Eve, you like to have your drinks with your friends, and then on Christmas Day, you're with your family. But I think that for now, we be with the people that we live with immediately, and so in the future, we can celebrate and have fun and enjoy Christmas like we once did.
Yeah. All right.
So for something like this, I agree with both Sahar and Jeremy. I think they really brought the point of we still have to celebrate. We just have to find out how to celebrate. Yes. And we made the argument of Christmas will be different, but Christmas is different every year. When you were a kid, Christmas is different from how you are now. Yeah. Christmas changes for us. We used to go to church at midnight. Now we don't go to church at all. So,
you're a student.
How can we go to church at 7 o'clock or at 8 o'clock? A lot of us have gone to service at midnight. You know, that's our family tradition. Yeah. And we can't do that. We bring in Christmas together as a family. We can't do that. And so what we have to do is take away that language of being robbed. Mm-hmm. And start talking about how do we celebrate? What do we do? We've already, with my family, yesterday we spent the day planning our mass. We already, you know, got people to help us and we're doing a mass. And the fun part is we are not just celebrating the ones in the house or the ones in the city. We're including family from all over the country and outside of the country as well. Yep. So we're including them and making it a bigger part of it. So, yes, we'll have different things, but if you usually make block cake and give it to your peoples, you can still make block cake and give it to your peoples. You can share, you can make little care packages. And I've been talking about, why do we celebrate Christmas? What is the reason behind it? For a lot of people, they say, you know what? It's about family, it's about friends, it's about giving, it's about charity. Those things are still there. Yeah. How can you connect to it again? Yeah. So for a lot of people, I've been telling them, if you can't go visit your grandma, do something nice for her and drop it off on Christmas Day. Yes, you see her from the veranda or the porch, but you get to see her. You'll hug her, like what Sahar said. Next year, you'll hug her. You'll have that space. You'll have that opportunity. But right now, it's important to understand what that bubble is. It's about me being safe. And, I've always been in a bubble, and people say it's a bad thing. And that because it excludes you, it isolates you. But we have to understand that our bubble is not about isolation. It's not about seclusion. It's about safety and taking that to the next level and saying, how can I still celebrate? How can I still participate? How can I still socially connect? Checking in is important, but also being thoughtful, being kind. What can I do for you? What would I give you? And not just drop off a gift, not just think of a gift card from a place that you take care of your gift, but what could be meaningful? Make like a little extra like hot chocolate mix and send that out to your people. Yeah. Take that time now that you have it at home and decide, how can I spend it and include people? As I'm preparing my turkey and my ham, my friend is doing it. Or maybe I'm making the turkey dinner, and then we have this drop off at a certain time. I'll take it to everybody and then we'll eat together. Yeah. You can still find ways around, especially from people who are far away. Have your grandma call in, even though she doesn't have internet, she's on that call. Someone has her on speakerphone and she's a part of the conversation, and they're the best parts because they're the least politically correct people. Yeah. So you can always hear the jokes
and they'll probably
and
complain too.
Exactly.
Amy and Jeremy and Sahar, I'll tell you what, guys, excellent points. We're so thankful that we could have you this morning, and we do wish you guys all the very best for the day, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right, Marlene, excellent conversation, but we need to take a break. When we come back, it's all about Climb the Wall Art. What is it? We'll tell you when we come back. Stay with us.
This COVID update was brought to you by Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service. Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Last year Christmas, we gathered in groups with family and friends, went shopping and spent time together in crowded spaces. If we do this during the COVID-19 pandemic, however, we'll help the virus to spread. Most of us have a family member who's elderly, or young but obese, or who has high blood pressure or diabetes. And while we want to hang out with them this Christmas, to stay safe during this holiday season, celebrate with only the members of your household, meaning the people who live in your home. Even though we have family and friends who would not want to harm us, inviting persons from other homes increases the risk of being exposed to COVID-19. Of course, we still have to wash hands frequently and wear a mask that covers nose and mouth consistently. And remember, if anybody is sick, if anyone has a cold, stuffy nose, cough, fever, or just feels tired, that person should stay home. A message from the Pan American Health Organization, World Health Organization, European Union, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Every day, young persons are infecting older and high-risk family members and friends with the COVID-19 virus. This Christmas could become the super spreader event we've all been afraid of. The end result is suffering and a horrible death. Please, do not let a couple of hours of fun cause a lifetime of mourning and pain. Practice social distancing, wash hands often, and wear your mask properly. Staying home this Christmas will ensure many more with your loved ones in the years to come. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back. Just like that, we're back. And we're now moving into our second segment for this morning. This one is all about learning to spell. Independent and interactive learning activity, Climb the Wall Art. And we've got the owner in with us, none other than Shalawa Leslie. Shalawa, good morning. I love your name, by the way. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Belize. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we know that you're in cool Belmopan, and we're so excited about the conversation. Independent and interactive learning activity, Climb the Wall Art. Tell us about it. This is exciting.
Well, I have a 3-year-old son. And I am one of those parents that like their children to think on their own.
Perfect.
And to exceed the teacher's expectation. So with my child, I had to find a way to teach him that's easy for him to learn. I have 2 girls, so I had no experience at all with boys, and I will say that they certainly do learn differently, and they might not want to learn. So I came up with this idea to teach him how to learn by blocks. Now everybody knows blocks. It's a normal thing. You know, you go to the store and you find blocks with different letters or word numbers on it. But so what? That's like old fashioned, that's like old time, but then how do you apply that? And so what I did was did the same blocks, the regular blocks that everybody knows about, the old fashioned blocks. And incorporated my cards. Now let's try to get this right, because you're dealing with what is this?
That's a fox. Yes.
You can see that clearly.
Yes.
Okay, so you notice below the fox, there's letters.
Yes.
And it's FOX, which spells the fox. Now, what we don't realize sometimes is that our children don't learn because they're unable to make the connection between picture and now you're telling me that it has these things, which we know are letters, but children don't know that. And letters make up words, and pictures have words. So how do you make that connection with the child for them to learn easier? And so this is how I made the connection with him. So if we're on the street and he sees a stop sign, he knows that that picture has a word and the word has letters, and he will clearly always spell it out, S-T-O-P. But the point is that he's making the connection. The same thing with bump. He's going to spell out bump, and he's going to keep on spelling other words. He's also going to make up some things, but the point is that he's making the connection, and that is what pushes him forward to be able to learn. So he will pick up a book, and he now wants to read because he understands that these letters are words and that words have meaning, and they also have a picture that goes with it, which opens now his mind to explore other ideas. It links his creativity. And so now he's able to learn much faster, much easier. I'm a student of the Mandarin language, and so for him also, he learns that as well. So last night, we were practicing how to spell discard, dog. And in Mandarin, you say dog as go. And so even though this has dog, he will say go because he knows this picture means go, which is the word in Mandarin. So that's what I'm saying, that it's opening up his mind now. He can think for himself, and that's going to make learning so much easier. He's going to be intelligent.
So you had an idea, and you realized that you wanted to mix the visual learning and kind of get the goals met in getting him to spell. But you decided to use your own artistic talents to create not just the flashcards, but also building blocks.
Yes, that's correct. And to code the letters in the word.
Yes.
The letters match the color of the blocks. So he feels such confidence.
So there's a play element there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It certainly is. He takes it everywhere. We could play in the park, we could play in the yard, in his picnic time, which we have, by the way. We could play at bedtime, in reading time.
Yeah.
It goes anywhere.
All right, so Shalwa, you know, I'm very interesting, like I mentioned, but let's get parents to understand, because what I'm getting from you is it's not just about learning. You need to connect with what you want for them to learn. So you need to have them connect with what they want to learn. The process for parents, how do they get this? How do they start this?
It's in conversation. It's in conversation. Anywhere you are, you go on the street and there's a green tree. There's a blue sky. Oh, it's raining outside. It's just making them aware of their environment. It's a regular, normal conversation. It doesn't take you outside of your regular norm. Absolutely not. It's in your everyday activity.
Wow.
And it's in your house. That's a stove. That's a fire. Don't touch it. It's hot. Hot, H-O-T.
Hot. One of the things that strike me as well is that you mentioned girls learn different from boys. How did you come up? How did you get that?
Because I have two girls.
It's experience.
Yes. I've got my three girls, but this is.
Do you have a son?
No. So I've got my three girls.
That's your problem.
I love that. So I love that you have taken it beyond your own home, though. So recognizing that other parents at home were looking for innovative ways, you decided to create it as a business. So what moved you to that step?
I'm one of those moms that is always tinkering, and I'm well taken care of by my husband. I have to say that publicly, nationwide, because I know he's watching right now. I'm just trying to score points here.
Easy. Love it.
But also by profession, I'm an administrator.
Okay.
But I think most women, we want to be all that we can be. And we want to be able to make our own money. But we also don't want to be able to must make our own money. We just want it to flow. We want it to flow nicely. And so this particular method is not the only method I have for my son, but it's the first that I'm making publicly. And so out of my wanting to be more, striving for more, I decided to commercialize it because I realized that there is a gap in our society when it comes to reading. When I'm selling these packages, one of the first things that I'm asked is, what is the age range? and the age range is advised to be between 0 and 2. But I'll be very honest with you that I know children that are 8 years old that are having trouble reading because they're just not making the connection.
Yeah.
So whilst you might buy this package for your 0 to 2 years old or 3.5 like my son is, and that will be wonderful and great. But if your children are having trouble, then let's start breaking it down and starting again from the beginning so that they can grasp all the concepts that are already out there. Let's take them back to the roots so that they can conquer this. We need a society that reads, is the bottom line. This is my contribution to my society, using my method of teaching them how to read.
Absolutely. And you know, I think we have all seen or heard stories of people who miss milestones or children who miss milestones, and we do know that that makes further education even more difficult because they don't have the foundation. And this can help a lot with that. But I am curious, climb the wall art. Tell us about that story and why you decided, because I imagine your son just all over the place climbing the wall. So please tell us more. And what's his name? Because he seems to be a featured part of why you did this.
Yes. Climb the wall art was actually a dream. And it was in the dream, that was the name, Climb the wall art. I am a dreamer. And so I thought, yes, I will accept a name given to me by God. Wasn't looking for it, but absolutely. But because it really resonates, it really says exactly what an artist, locally at least, needs to be constantly doing. Not done, but you need to be constantly climbing, you need to be constantly doing more, becoming more, evolving. And it's also it's not news that an artist in Belize sometimes they're starving, or most of the time they're starving. Maybe they make something, they're selling it pretty cheap because they just want to make something off of it. Well, this is an encouragement to the artist that you can be really what you're supposed to be. And you don't need to be afraid that the society might not accept it, because really your art, your creation will make way for you. I mean, that's how I got here. Isn't that why I am right now on Open Your Eyes? I'm not here because you all want to see my pretty face.
It's because we love Belizeans who have great ideas and who put them into practice. And we
That's
really
right. And so you need to go outside and show the world what you've created, and you just simply need to be climbing. Just climb and just let the world know what you have. Okay, I'll turn it over back to you, Marlene. You were trying to say something just now.
No, I was going to ask you, what's your son's name? So we can know the inspiration behind this.
Yes. So my son is my inspiration behind these blocks. Just wanting him to be able to learn. You know, I am very adamant in my home when it comes to learning. With my two girls particularly, they are 21 years old now and 18. I think I probably just 21 and 14, and I probably just gave away my age.
What is his name?
Christophe.
Christophe, okay.
Christophe.
So Christophe definitely has been a catalyst for you to get moving. I mean, you're saying you're an artist, but this really pushed you in a new direction as well. What has the response been like? You're in Belmopan, you have some places that you're selling, and I know you have your Facebook page. What has been the feedback from people who have bought their package?
Yes, I want to read exactly what I was sent last night by a teacher, a parent teacher. After she bought it last week, she says she really loves it, speaking about her daughter. And yes, I'm seeing progress already. She is being able to identify a few letters she was still struggling with. The color coding is just genius, I swear. And she'll have a full testimonial shortly to send out to the public. This is a teacher. And not because she's a teacher means that she should have it all perfect and wonderful. Of course not, you know. This is why we need society and community, because everybody has a different idea, and we take those together and we make one big explosive thing.
Wow. All right. So if we'd like some packages, how do we get that? And what can we do?
Yes, we're launching our website by the end of this week. So you should be able to purchase online, whether by bank deposit or through PayPal. Also, you can call me. My number is 668-8949. I'm available on WhatsApp. You can find Climb the Wall Art on IG. You can contact me there. You can also find Climb the Wall Art on Facebook, where you can also contact me.
Cool.
Fantastic. Well, Shalwa, we are so grateful that you told us all about your story, about the Climb the Wall Art, and also your Learn to Spell blocks. What is the cost of each package?
Each package is $18.
Okay.
And also, by the end of this week, they will be in Brody's in Belmopan, Dacres in Belmopan, and also the Art Shop. Anywhere you go, you will find it for $18.
Wow.
That is my commitment to the customer. So we're all selling at the same price, $18.
You know, there are a lot of parents at home who are trying to help their children with their online learning, and I'm sure that this will be a great help for them, especially in getting the kids to want to learn their spell words, especially their spelling words. So great idea, wonderful initiative, and thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Shalwa.
Thank you guys for making it easy and making it public.
All right.
Yep, we're
Take
about
care and
yeah.
stay safe. Merry Christmas.
Same to you guys.
All right.
Wow, mind blown away. What a safe way to learn as well. Shalwa, thank you so very much. But we're about to take a break, and of course, we'll be keeping it local, of course. Locally made Christmas gift ideas, handmade jewelry by Zest Handcraft. What do they have in store? We'll tell you when we come back. Stay with us.
We are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us. Then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something. The Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. Stronger together. The Belize Bank. Our country. Your bank.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call OnNet, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
The virus that causes COVID-19 may be spreading in our community. People might have the disease even if they have no symptoms at all, even when they look healthy. Because the virus needs us to spread from one person to another, we can stop it from infecting others if we practice physical distancing. That means stay at least 6 feet away from other persons. Don't shake hands or exchange hugs. Do not gather in groups. Stay home if government officials tell you to do so. Use social media or telephone to communicate. Avoid crowded and enclosed spaces. Work from home if you can. Stay home if you are sick, except to get medical care. Avoid close contact with sick people. Don't visit anyone who's sick in quarantine or in isolation. Give them a call instead. Help keep Belize safe.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you going on, man?
But I actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups from the grocery shop because they run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just ran out of the last batch, must have been like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What is going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, you can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our third segment and we're keeping it local. Locally made Christmas gift ideas, handmade jewelry, and coming out of a hot spot named Zest Handcraft. That's Zest Handcrafted, actually. And Asia Garel is the owner. Asia, good morning. I love your earrings.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. They're really my special Christmas earrings.
All right. So tell us about your business, Handcrafted, and your ideas, and how did you get started?
Actually, it started out as a hobby. I like earrings, so I decided to try to make them. But let me start by saying, hi, I'm Asia. His name is Zest Handcrafted. We're on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And I make special earrings out of resin. So it's a liquid plastic and I pour it into molds. And that makes the earrings really light. So you can go big without like pulling on your ears and giving you headaches. So yeah, they're really fun and I can make them into different molds and different shapes. Lots of different colors and sparkles and glitter.
How did the idea come around? What got you started?
It was actually through a fun project when I was studying in the US. We did a tabletop with resin and wood, and then the person that I was working with, they actually bought me my first kit for the earring making for a hobby, because back then I was still making jewelry but not resin specific, and I just really like working with the resin. You kind of feel, my background is science, so you kind of feel like you're doing a little bit of science with the gloves and you know, the chemical reactions happening. So it's really fun to work with, and it's really different too.
Yeah, but it takes a whole lot of creativity, and I think that's what we know about your jewelry. So you know, you start doing it for yourself. This is always interesting. What makes you take that jump from I'm going to do my own earrings to, okay, let me see if people are going to like it and buy it?
The whole thing that started Zest was kind of an accident. I started making my own earrings and wearing them to work, and people wanted to buy them. And so I had my coworkers really trying to buy earrings from me. So that's how I started. And I was still in school in the US when my mom suggested me sending her stuff to Belize, and she would sell it. She's the greatest marketing person ever. So she would wear her earrings to meetings and then hope that someone asks her about it. And then that's how Baby Zest started, basically. And I recently moved back, well, not recently anymore, 2 years ago. Yeah. So then I really put everything into Zest and said, you know what, there's a time and a space for everything, and this is the time for Zest, I guess.
Wow. And how did you get to the name Zest? Or, yes, Zest. How did you get to that?
So that one, I just wanted a one word, something very strong, and I really like the tagline that, you know, add some zest to your outfit, add that something special, that extra special glitter, that special touch. So that's what Zest is all about, adding something different to your outfit and making it you.
All right, so let's continue talking, but I know you're actually going to show us as well a bit of the process, right?
Yes.
All right.
So I have a setup here, a slight setup. So I'll show you guys. I've poured these last night. So resin does take a while to cure and harden. It takes about 24 hours depending on what you're doing.
Okay.
And so I poured these into molds. Let me go ahead and try to turn you around.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
And then I will show you what it looks like in the actual molds.
Okay.
And then I'll put some earrings together for you.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, I'm doing this.
Okay.
Okay. So I have some Christmas earrings here in front of you.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see them well.
Yeah, we're seeing them.
Okay. So let me demold them for you. These are silicone molds that I've made myself. And so these are our little ornaments.
Yeah.
And these are little trees.
They're glowing. They're glittering.
Yes, they're very glittery. That's what we go for here.
Yeah. Funny enough, you were while you were in the U.S. at school, you had to send home for mom. Now you probably have to send home to the U.S. for your friends.
I know. It's actually something we've been working on before COVID hit is worldwide shipping.
Okay, so you pour the mold, you pour the stuff into that, and it shapes the earring.
Yes.
And
so it's liquid when it goes in here,
Uh-huh.
and then I can pour the glitter and the different inclusions here.
Oh.
So these are the ones I'm actually wearing.
Cool.
So that's how it comes out, and then these are the stars down here.
And it needs 24 hours to be. Okay. Oh, okay.
And so I add a stud to it,
Uh-huh.
and I drill a hole, and then I connect it. So I actually have a little connection here that I can do for you. So it'll be this one with this. And what I'll do is I'll assemble it for you guys.
Okay.
And it's really not much now. All the work goes mostly into resin and the actual pouring.
Yeah, and the creativity is in the liquid stage, right? To
Yes.
know, and that's, I mean, I'd imagine you have ideas, but when it dries, it'd be a whole different story. Was that a learning process?
It was. Resin is actually a very particular material. It will, sorry, this one doesn't have the hole, but it will sometimes not cure.
Oh.
And it's a very messy, sticky situation. So it was a learning curve to see what I can put in there and what I can't, what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And so I found really good glitter, and I found other inclusions as well, like the gold flake that people really like.
Okay.
So here I'm just adding the ring, and then you have your earring.
Ta-da! That's
Ta-da!
beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yes.
I guess
Thank
that's
you.
been a hot seller for Christmas, huh?
It has been. I actually have a little wait list going on. People are still wanting it, even though it's a little late in the game. But you know what? We work with the customers.
It's
I have
never
another demold here
Okay.
that is our actual Monstera keychain.
Okay.
So
Asia,
these
did
are really, really fun.
Did I hear you right that you said you make your own silicone molds?
I do.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. Well, I've just started doing that since Christmas. So you can see where I have these the Christmas trees. I actually designed these shapes.
Yeah.
And then put them into the molds before.
Okay.
You can see at the top of that mold, I also had like gingerbread men.
Oh.
So those are really fun. So it really gives me a creativity, like a creative freedom.
Yeah.
Now that I can do any of my styles. I also did this shape.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This is one of my new
Yeah.
releases. So it really gives me that freedom to do a lot of different shapes.
So how do you price these things? I mean, you put a lot of work into it. Your ideas. How do you price these things?
Well, that's the harder part for me. I really like the creative process. I don't like charging people at all. That was one of the hardest things I have to do. But I made it as easy and straightforward as possible. I looked at the materials and how long it takes to do and what my time is worth, basically. But since COVID, I've really tried to adjust prices so Zest is very accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
So we have earrings starting at $5.
Cool.
And so they're just smaller earrings, smaller studs, and then they go up in prices depending on how long it takes to make them and how much material it takes as well.
I love those ones with the flowers. The Claire ones
thank
with
you.
the
Yes,
flowers.
I actually have those here. If you'd like to see them. These were actually a mistake.
What? Aren't those the best inventions?
I should say. These were definitely more of an experiment. So these are how the pieces look. Let me take this off. But recently we've been having people ask to set their flowers from their bouquets from their weddings into earrings.
Oh, that is so
these-
special. Yeah.
Yeah, so we call it our forever bouquets because the resin will actually preserve the flower for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So we make the piece and then we put them into the earrings like this.
That is so lovely.
Yeah.
There's so many things we could make forever. I could see a baby handprint and then you putting that into the earrings or your necklace.
Yeah.
Do you do necklaces or only earrings?
I do pendants as well.
Okay.
Yep, I do pendants. I actually have here one of our bestseller pendants, which was an actual custom order. It's the Evil Eye pendant.
That's right.
Yeah, I could see
this
that.
This is our mini size.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people want to stay away from the bag gozo. So
The bad energy. Yeah, I keep those in my
bad
home.
So I also do
Oh.
studs as well.
Yeah.
Oh, those are nice, man, for real. Those are beautiful.
So we do pendants as well.
So if we'd like to see some more of your work, where do we go?
So you can go at zest.handcrafted.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram and Facebook, and if you want to place orders, just go ahead and DM me. Right now, we're having a lot of sale specials for Christmas, and then I also do virtual shopping sessions. So if you want to, if it's a last-minute gift and you want to see what's readily available, like right now, I need a gift because I forget.
Yeah.
We also do free gift wrapping. So for the men that don't like to or don't know how to gift wrap, we can take care of that for you too.
You want to make sure the pretty gift has a pretty wrapping too.
Yeah.
Because that just goes together. Well, this is just lovely.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're clearly very talented. And I think it gives us something to wear proudly, handmade in Belize, and, just fantastic Christmas gifts. Some of them you've actually made into ornaments, I believe. Is that what I saw there?
Yes. So I released my ornaments yesterday. I have some here if you want to see.
Let's check them out.
They are in different colors.
Okay.
And I'm actually offering a special through next week, Monday.
Okay.
So these guys are only $25.
Those are beautiful.
Do you know how that's going to glitter when the light hits that?
I know, right?
Oh yeah, let me try to show you how.
Yeah.
Look at that.
My favorite is actually this white one, just like the Christmas tree.
I think
It
you
made
like
me a
the
little
gold
biased.
flakes, don't you?
Yeah, it's a gold flake.
I do.
And you also do
We have the-
keychains, personalized keychains or initial keychains.
Yes, we do keychains as well, and I have those here.
Oh, that's
There
nice.
you go, Aaron.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right up my alley there. Yes.
Just make your gift easier.
Yeah.
And I actually have monsteras are so in style these days, so I have this shape as well to do in a keychain.
Okay. That's nice.
I love the double
So we
ones,
have-
the double earrings.
Sorry, you were saying?
The double ones, the what do you call
the
it?
double monsteras,
Yeah.
yes. Yep. Those are definitely a hot seller too. They're really fun. I don't know what it is about monsteras, but they're absolutely fun to work with and fun to wear.
All right, so what's the name? Monsteras?
Yes, it's the type of leaf or
plant.
type of plant, I
Yeah.
should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we see it a lot in Belize, though.
Yep, we do. It's a tropical plant.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay, so what, now, do you have a cutoff time for people to make orders for customs?
Yeah. You do say you have a line, so.
So I usually have things readily available, but people like customs, and since I hand make them, I can mix and match the styles and colors.
Okay.
Right now, if you get your orders in today or maybe tomorrow, depending on the amount, I can probably get in your order before Christmas. We're cutting off tomorrow. So if you guys want custom orders, except for the ornaments, you can be sure to message me, DM me, and we will work on that order for you.
All right. Well, Asia, thank you so much for sharing with us your story and these fantastic jewelry that you've been creating. And I'm sure you just made gift buying for some people a lot easier.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been actually really grateful for people shopping local this year. I guess they can't go anywhere, so they've been looking around for gifts, and Zest is definitely a great place to get a really great gift. Beautiful, comfortable, and specially made just for us.
All right. Well,
And there we go. We just had your number and
Yep.
your email address on screen so people know how to get in touch. But otherwise, they can look up Zest Handcraft on Facebook and Instagram and do their own online browsing and make some orders. Thank you.
Thank you, Asia.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Merry Christmas.
Merry
All right.
Christmas.
So there we go. Locally made Christmas gift ideas from Zest Handcraft. What a wonderful time with her. And from that, we'll be moving now into, actually following the commercial break, we'll be going into a comic relief virtual competition. A competition with comedy? Woo! We'll tell you more about it when we come back.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Have a holly jolly Christmas this December with NextGen. Contact us today to sign up for free service installation or reconnection and receive 1 month free on your acquired service. Celebrate the spirit of the season by entering our grand raffle. This month, new and existing customers can enter a chance to win a 40-inch smart TV or up to 3 months free bundled service with a Debo 3. Visit our office for a chance to win today. Our raffle will be drawn live on the national channel. From our NextGen family to yours, we wish you peace and joy throughout the Christmas season. NextGen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
Smart got you this December with the We Kinda Christmas promotion. Starting December 4th, you can avoid the rush and be safe while visiting our showrooms to get these one-of-a-kind deals.
Devices start as low as $70 with the Evo Star Mobile. Other devices like the Nokia 2V for just $165, the Motorola E6 for only $235, and Samsung A51 for $675. Check this out. The first 10 persons to purchase any of our iPhone 7s get 50% off that device. Each device comes with 50 SMS, $10 promo credit, plus 2 gigabytes of data, all for free.
Looking for tablets? Then take advantage of the Amazon Kindle 8-inch for $155 or get a Samsung Tab A10.
All phones come with a starter pack, free SMS, credit and data, plus an extra Christmas treat of 2 gigabytes data, a package valued at over $27 for free.
Now that's we kind of prices, and you can only get them at Smart.
The virus that causes COVID-19 may be spreading in our community. People might have the disease even if they have no symptoms at all, even when they look healthy. Because the virus needs us to spread from one person to another, we can stop it from infecting others if we practice physical distancing. That means stay at least 6 feet away from other persons. Don't shake hands or exchange hugs. Do not gather in groups. Stay home if government officials tell you to do so. Use social media or telephone to communicate. Avoid crowded and enclosed spaces. Work from home if you can. Stay home if you are sick, except to get medical care. Avoid close contact with sick people. Don't visit anyone who's sick in quarantine or in isolation. Give them a call instead. Help keep Belize safe.
Every day, young persons are infecting older and high-risk family members and friends with the COVID-19 virus. This Christmas could become the super spreader event we've all been afraid of. The end result is suffering and a horrible death. Please, do not let a couple of hours of fun cause a lifetime of mourning and pain. Practice social distancing. Wash hands often and wear your mask properly. Staying home this Christmas will ensure many more with your loved ones in the years to come. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Why, Tony?
Boy, Keith, where you going, man?
We actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups from the grocery shop because I run low.
Boy, I stopped importing that thing since April 15th, you know. And I just routed the last batch, must be about like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have that thing? Where you going?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Welcome back. Yep, just like that, we're now moving into our fourth and final segment for the morning. And this one is actually about a comic relief virtual competition. Now, how do you do a competition with comedy? We've got two folks in to tell us all about it. It's going to be on December 16th, and that's when? Not today? Not today?
Yes.
Delroy Fairweather is in with us. He's a promoter of Comedy Belize, and Andazi Panton PR of Flavors Entertainment. Guys,
good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Marlene. How are you guys doing?
We are
ready
doing
to laugh.
Good. Yeah, we're ready for
Quite
laugh.
frankly, yeah.
Come on, Delroy.
You know, we talk about everything serious. We lighten it up sometimes, but we do miss laughter.
Yes, sir. We miss it. So tell us about this competition. How did you come up with it, Delroy? You always with comedy.
Man, John, you're breaking the protocol, you know, because normally it's the woman first, and Flavors normally would be the one to basically. But anyway, since you asked, okay, so basically we just last year we had White Yard Day.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you know, so we're here virtually, and they said no.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, so we basically just had a little small competition a few weeks ago. We brought in 3 guys from the South, Dennis, Deisha Sutherland, we had Jerome and Bossa B. Norales and David Morey.
Yeah.
You know, people catched on to it, and you know, Flavors made the call and said, "Hey, look, you know, let's put our efforts together and get the show going." Flavors had a really nice idea in terms of hosting a whole season of comedy, and you know what? We said, "Hey, let's do it." So I could let Andazi kind of let you in on that part.
Dazi, tell us.
Yes. Good morning. Well, you know, as you guys know, Flavors has been doing it this year, makes 11 years now that we've been doing live concerts. And we had been talking about film for a while, but because we were so caught up with the live concerts, you know, we hadn't been doing anything. And the pandemic really forced our hands to start creating content in this way. As you guys know, we started with From Belize with Love. That's an ongoing show. It's a live concert series and a documentary series on Belize. And we also had this idea to do a comedy show. And we saw that the guys over at Comedy Belize were doing comedy already. They had done the White Yard Day, as Delroy mentioned. They had done a little competition the other day. And we really loved the way that, you know, they were working with upcoming comics. And it was similar to, you know, the idea that we had and the way that we like to work with developing Belizean talent in a way that can be exported to the world. So we reached out to them and we said, come on, let's join forces and let's do this thing, you know. So Comic Relief was born, and I keep telling people that we need some relief. And here is some comic relief for you guys. And it happens tonight on Sec 9.
So that's an app. You have to download the app and you stream from that app, right?
Right.
Yes. Big shout out to Sector 9 Studios. They started with a studio in the music industry, same passion for Belizean talent, for developing talent, you know, and then they started the streaming service before COVID. Actually, they had developed a streaming service where they would put our musicians and our Belizeans online, you know, to be able to access the world. And when we came up with From Belize with Love, we went to them with the idea to have a pay-per-view service, and they jumped on it right away and created Sec 9 Plus. And now with that, we're able to do Comic Relief the same way. So, you know, Sec 9 is an app. It's available in the Play Store. It's available in the Apple Store. It's available on your Fire Stick. And if you're not into apps, you can go to their website at www.sec9live.com. All you have to do is sign up for Sec 9 Plus, because that's where all the premium pay-per-view content lives.
All right. So, Delroy, tell us about the competitors tonight and how hot you think it's going to be.
Well, I could tell you the lineup with these guys, you know, they will have you rolling. You know, David Morey, he's no stranger to the Facebook, Instagram platform. As a matter of fact, these guys live on their phones doing contents, giving people laughter. 16 years of age, very good comedian, over 10,000 followers. Deisha Sutherland, again, We just stumbled upon him through, our little competition that we had. All these guys that you're looking at, Bossa B, again, these guys are all from the South.
Cool.
So, understand that the South have a lot of wealth of talent.
Yeah.
To complement what they're doing, we actually brought in international judges, virtually again, Raymond Gongora, everyone knows him from back in the days. Althea Leslie, Joy Segeri, and we also have this guy, Owen Blacker Ellis, who is very good friends with the first three judges that I have told you about.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we just use them to help develop these guys, help them write their script, help them to critique them, and that's how the competition will run tonight. Like I said, these guys, the teams that they were given, they had to work within that team. So it's not just going there and speaking, making people laugh, but actually there's a level of difficulty, because then we actually gave them and said, look, you got to work within this parameters, and I'm telling you, these guys are good.
So what type of comedy are we talking about here? We had a whole discussion during the break time alone, because there's so many different types of preferences. So when you put together a show, how do you know you're gonna hit everybody's funny bone?
Well, they had me laughing. I'm borderline between young and old.
Oh gosh.
Not age though. I mean, like, some people love slapstick, some people love satire, some people love like commentary on socio-political issues.
Yeah.
Some people like what is it called? Impersonation.
People's voices, the way they behave.
Yeah, there's so many different types.
Yeah, there's so many different types.
Marlene, you're right. It's a combination of all of those.
Correct.
And again, it's going to be a clean show, meaning family oriented, because of course we are catering to people, to families. So we ensure that they kept their jokes moderate. And again, like I said, the teams that we chose, for example, tonight, it's all about me. So this is kind of having them introducing themselves.
Yeah.
This is a part of it, introducing yourself, but in a comical way, kind of telling people how you came about doing their comedy and putting little stuff in there. So, it's basically really challenging for them, but at the same time, it's challenging but funny.
So what's the hope for these guys? You want to make sure that they hit the international scene. What is the long term for comedy in Belize?
Definitely. I mean, with everything that we do where we're developing artists, we hope that the end goal is that they reach the international scene. Yeah. Blacker Ellis, who Delroy mentioned as one of our judges, is a professional comedian from Jamaica. He has already said that he would love to do a show with these guys, and we're trying to make connections with whoever may be out there in the industry to get their attention on these comics. They really blew me away. I was so impressed by the work that we did. And as Delroy mentioned, we're not just throwing them up there and saying, do comedy. We gave them a theme that they needed to write to for each show, so each show will be based on a specific theme. And we have divided the country up into 4 areas. So it won't only be comedians from the South. We also have Belize Central, which includes Belize City and Cayo, Belize Islands, which includes San Pedro and Key Carker, and Belize North, which will include Corozal and Orange Walk. And we actually still have spots available in Belize Islands and Belize North for any comedian out there who feels like they would want to try this out. But to go back to your question, yes, most definitely the idea is to get them on that international level and to get them performing out there in the world.
Yeah. And to have an actual industry in Belize, because we know there are lots of funny people, and there are probably some people who can work on the craft and deliver on stage as well. But I just think it's something we've never really been taking that serious. I don't know. Are you hoping to formalize it here and have new comedians and people aspire to be comedians?
Yeah, and I'm glad you asked that, Marlene, because one of the when we had a virtual meeting with Blacker and one of his colleagues from the university that he works, we're actually thinking of getting these guys getting a skill certificate. Now, if you would understand what that means then that they're allowed to move around the Caribbean to perform because of the CSME treaty that we have. We also have a comedian from the US by the name of Dorian Vasquez. His grandfather was a legendary Jackie Vasquez, who everyone used to know back in the days. Now, Jackie Vasquez's grandson is a comedian, and we're planning on reaching out to him likewise, because the virtual platform will be the thing that has to work. It will be the thing that has to work because, of course, with the travel restrictions and so forth. And when you guys see the quality of the production of these performers, this will stand up to any international comedy that you're seeing out there with the Belize, and the Belize and twist on it.
Cool.
Okay. You know, and there are a lot of young people on TikTok that are really hilarious as well. How are you trying to get out to all of them that they could take a chance? You know, there are a couple that I love watching their videos. They just crack me up. So how are you trying to recruit more people to get on board? And you know, this can be the starting point for them in actually becoming a professional in this field.
Yeah. Well, this is where the awareness comes in again. These guys actually are promoting the show with their followers. And through that, I'm glad you mentioned TikTok because I don't even have a TikTok account. I'm still stuck at Facebook and kind of merged.
Oh my gosh. And you know, because it's been easier, you know, like the editing apps make it easier for them to do full-fledged skits on TikTok. There's a girl, I'll give her the shout out, Real Cruffy, hilarious. I first saw her skit on Belizeans who have Yeti cups, and if you haven't seen it, please look it up. It is hilarious.
What's her name?
She's on the, I don't know her name. I just know the handle. It's Real Cruffy.
Real Cruffy.
Hilarious,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and again, I'll tell you honestly, there's not to say a reluctance, but I think some people they're a little bit shy to come out there on camera. And this is again with like platforms like these. You know, thank you guys for hosting us. This is where we make an appeal to them and show them, look, you know, just try it, see how it works out. You have already mastered being on the phone, on the internet, sending out videos. It's just a matter of putting this together and start getting it out there. You're going to get a little stipend because, of course, these guys are getting a stipend for these performances. And we're hoping that as we're progressing and moving, they're moving along with us. So, you know, through this medium and even through our little Facebook Live and all that, we're reaching out to them. And trust me, you know, you got to be on the phone constantly with them because they're just reluctant to like really put themselves out there on a formal stage.
All right.
I love that. It sounds like you're really working on, yes, having a competition and providing entertainment. And that's of value to all of us. But it's also looking like you want to have a mentorship program of sorts where you can help them grow with the talents they already possess.
Yep, that's right. And
go ahead, Delroy.
No, I was just going to say this is where the international judges they're offering full support. Yeah. Again, these guys they never did one day indicated that you know, oh, we're too busy, you know, these guys are always available. We just let them know, and it's like we're bringing them out of retirement, you know.
Come out, the time for come out. But you know what, guys, obviously the things that we're seeing on these social media platforms, like Marlene mentioned, the name Belizean Cruffy,
what, TikTok?
From what you've been watching, it's all about the love for what they're doing. And at this particular point, Delroy and Andazi, you guys are actually giving them a platform to make some money off of it.
That's right. Yeah, and get recognized.
So what? So what's
okay? So my producer, who's also a fan of this girl, she's totally. We didn't plan this. Has a video so we can all know who I'm talking about, right? So
we're going to check it out?
This is to show you a sample of what we find on TikTok. Let's check that out.
Let's check that out then.
Let me know. I'll give you some more. Right, I will give you this $50. Make sure it lasts for the whole week because I know to give you more. Listen, if someone hits you, go and tell the teacher. Yeah, I can tell you something. If somebody knock you, knock them back. Okay, because if you come home to cry, I will knock you again. Don't worry, failing a test does not mean it's the end of the world. You can try harder next time. You don't bring me anything else more than 70. That's not a good grade. Why I kill up myself to send you to school for? This is our 85. We never spent 3 days to study this ras with you. Whenever you graduate, we're buying you your first iPhone. Listen, you want an iPhone, expensive phone, graduate and work for it and buy it. Be sure to buy one for your mato, so. Don't worry, you don't have to go to school today if you have a bellyache. Listen, me no care if you got shitnings. What shitnings no.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
That was just one sample, but yeah. Thank you, Shanice, for.
I'm in contact with her, trying to get her on the show. But again, a little bit shy. But you know, I'm going to continue work on trying to get her on the show because yes, she sent me her number and we started communicating. But it's just work in progress.
I know. And I think that's why we have this opportunity to talk. You'll start, and this is how it always starts. There are a couple of people who are willing to go the first round, and then after they see the experience, they're able to go further. After you get more people interested after that. So
I really want to encourage everyone out there, you know, who even thinks that they're funny. You know, in Belize Central, we have a young man who you know wants to be a comedian, but he hasn't had a platform yet. You know, like David Moore with his 10,000 followers, and it's just a matter of just getting out there and trying it out. You know, we have mentors here who will help guide you along the way. You know, and it will be an amazing experience whether you are already, you know, doing your comedy on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, or you feel like you want to start doing comedy, you know. So, you know, I encourage everyone to just reach out to us, whether it's Flavors Entertainment or Comedy Belize. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, you know, and give it a try.
Yeah. What time do we start tonight and how can we get the app and tell us about that? How do we get to see it?
Yes. The show goes live at 8 p.m. tonight, Belize time, 6 p.m. LA time, I want to say, that's Pacific. 9 p.m. Eastern, which is New York time. You know, and we'll be streaming live on the Sec9 app. So you either go to your Play Store, to your App Store, or your Fire Stick, search Sec9, and you download the app there. Once you've downloaded the app, you'll see in the top right corner an icon that says Sec9 Plus. You sign up for Sec9 Plus. That is free. You don't have to pay to sign up for Sec9 Plus. All you have to do is put in your email, put in your, you know, choose a username and password, and you're in. And or if you're not into apps, go to www.sec9live.com. Also sign up for Sec9 Plus there, and you will see the Comic Relief show. When you purchase your tickets, you will be sent an access code. So when you click on the Comic Relief show, it will ask you to enter a code. You enter the code and you're in and ready to watch, guys. So, you know, it's as easy as that. And Delroy can tell you where and how you can purchase your tickets. And I just want to say that we got it up on BelizeOn.bz this morning as well. So if you're familiar with their platform, they're also another amazing company in Belize supporting Belizean products and Belizean services. Tickets are also available there, BelizeOn.bz, and Delroy will tell you the other options of how to pay.
Okay, yeah. So pretty much, guys, virtual world again. You know, we're trying to get people to understand. We're trying to minimize the contact with meeting people on a one-on-one basis. But fine, you could go to Atlantic Bank, do your deposit to Delroy Fairweather, trading as Comedy Belize, account number 100-322-303. And once you've finished with that transfer, you can just, you could just send us a copy of that transfer that you've made, and we will, in return, send you back an access code. For international viewers, we have Zelle, YarielaLopez@gmail.com, and also Cash App, YEFL Belize. Likewise, again, it's $6 US. just send a WhatsApp after you have completed that, 813-388-8815. And guys, that's pretty much how it works. $12 billion or $6 US. If you would want to do $6 US, that's fine. It's less than less than 12.
All right. So tonight, people can take a break and just enjoy a night of laughter. Show support to our fellow Belizeans, from the organizers to the people who are streaming, and of course to the participants as well, and get some great entertainment. Thank you guys for organizing and bringing us some laughter. And also, we wish you the best of luck and stay safe.
Thank you so much. I also want to remind people, Marlene, that you can vote for your favorite comedian as well, because these guys will be facing off against each other from different regions to become the king or queen of Comedy Belize.
Sweet. All right. Well, now we know. And make sure that you enjoy your day, guys. Get prepared. Get ready.
Thank you so much.
All right, here we go. Well, I'll tell you what, we had 4 wonderful conversations. We'll take our final break, and we'll be right back to wrap things up. Stay with us.
One hilarious show, one rumble in the South, and it's all about me, featuring Dennis D. Show Sutherland.
One of the child here get it built, the next one start wash up. The other one start sweep, next one start rake the other. Why? Because they don't want to get lash. And guess what happened? All of this, really good.
David Morey.
Well, we teach you a lot of important things we Belizeans need to know. That family time is precious, that life is temporary, and the finally makes all of this thinking bread people smell the one damn bread, you know, the one damn man's clothes. But what? Not good for that?
Jerome Busta B. Morales.
Lonely in the dark. No girl. 2 spoon, 1 cup, 3 plate, and 1 bed, and no stove. What to do?
Purchase your virtual ticket today. View this show on Set9 Live. This program is brought to you by Flavors Entertainment. Comedy.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking, and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Smart got you this December with the We Kinda Christmas promotion. Starting December 4th, you can avoid the rush and be safe while visiting our showrooms to get these one-of-a-kind deals.
Devices start as low as $70 with the Evil Star Mobile. Other devices like the Nokia 2V for just $165, Motorola E6 for only $235, and Samsung A51 for $675. Check this out. The first 10 persons to purchase any of our iPhone 7s get 50% off that device. Each device comes with 50 SMS, $10 promo credit, plus 2 gigabytes of data, all for free.
Looking for tablets? Then take advantage of the Amazon Kindle 8-inch for $155. Or get a Samsung Tab A10.
All phones come with a starter pack, free SMS, credit and data, plus an extra Christmas treat of 2 gigabytes data, a package valued at over $27 for free.
Now this, that's We Kinda prices. And you can only get them at Smart.
All right, and that's our show for today. We spoke about mental health issues and some of the things I think we're all feeling. It's good to hear from the professionals themselves that, you know, it's not just us feeling that way. I think the call that they made for kind of just adapting to what we're experiencing at this time and recognizing that we are all doing it to ensure the safety of ourselves and the safety of our loved ones, and that future Christmases can be what we used to remember before.
Definitely. We know
that's just what we're facing at this time.
We know that things aren't the same. We know that it's very tough on the mind. But find a professional so we could all get help. All right. We also had a wonderful conversation with Shalwa Leslie, who is the owner of Climb the Wall Art. Excellent way to teach your child to spell and to be interactive and interact as they learn. Shalwa, thank you so very much. We had locally made Christmas gift ideas, handmade jewelry. So we want to also say a big thank you to Asia Garel, the owner of Zest Handicraft. Excellent stuff, Marlene. My goodness, beautiful, glittery.
So you can find her on Facebook and Instagram. You just have to look up Zest Handcraft, handcrafted, I should say. And she has from key rings to ornaments, jewelry, and pendants. And we definitely encourage you to buy local, to buy from small artisans and businesses and entrepreneurs that have set up just to be able to get through COVID or just to share their talent.
Yeah.
So that's one more that we're able to feature. And tonight...
Yep, tonight is going to be a big comedy competition, man. Comic relief. Let's, take a while to laugh a little. And tonight is definitely that night. 8 o'clock, make sure that you get the Sector 9 app and you make your payments, you do your thing, and you could laugh at a competition that's going to kick off later on tonight. It's going to be good. We had 4 wonderful conversations for today, and we're so thankful for that as well.
All right.
And for tomorrow, we'll be having in with us, you could tell us.
Sorry.
Honorable Karim Musa is going to be with us tomorrow.
Okay,
Marlene.
yes.
Man.
We kind of have an idea of what we do in the end. Yes, tomorrow we do want to encourage you to tune in. Of course, we know that there has been a concern in looking at the enforcement of regulations for COVID-19, and so we're going to talk to Honorable Karim Musa about the work that he's been doing since he's got into the department, what he hopes to be able to achieve, and definitely kind of sounding for letting us know just how things are going in maintaining those regulations countrywide. So please do look forward to that.
All right, so thank you so very much. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hey, if you've got any questions, any concerns, you could drop us a line at oye@channel5belize.com.
You can also drop me a line at marlene_oye@channel5belize.com. Find us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ.
You could find us on Instagram at OYEBelize.
And remember to tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right. As per usual, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open. We'll see you soon. Enjoy your day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.